Hey guys, welcome to Southern Train Productions. And it's been a long time since we've actually made like a video on this channel that pertained to the Garden Railroad, RC stuff and all that. A lot of people might wonder why I changed the channel from MERRITT Excavation RC and Trains. Mainly because I don't have the RC excavators and stuff like that anymore. I plan on getting more of those. My real passion, honestly, is trains. I have to deal with heavy equipment every day for work, so it's just kind of like, ugh, I don't want to do it when I'm off work. So, big shout out to trains.com. That's trains with a Z, out of Beaufort, Georgia. We ordered a Tier 4 engine, which it's back there in DPU status, and we've got some intermodal cars here and quite a few coming tomorrow. So I've done this before. It's a pain in the butt, and it's hard because I don't have legacy control. I'm assuming that's what it's called, but we're trying to set this up to run every car that I have in a DPU every car I have with a DPU. Let me say that the correct terminology. So I've got my SD90 Mac up front, my Union Pacific. That's a legacy engine. And I've got it actually running off of a just a standard controller, one of the universal remotes. And then the GE is just a line chief engine, and it's running off of its remote. Now, I've done this before with just line chief engines, but it seems like every time I've done it, it's damaged the engine, or it doesn't work right. I just wanted to do it one time and make a loop around my line. So excuse me, I actually have COVID, of all things, for the second time, and I got to looking online or on eBay, kind of went crazy, and I was like, you know what? I need a good tax write-off, so I want to order some motive power, which I have an Amtrak coming tomorrow, and a bunch of intermodal stuff. And in the meantime, I was like, you know what? I'm going to lash up a big train with all of my cards with a DPU. I've made it like 3 successful laps. So if I can get one good lap out of this, I'm good. Then we're going to break it up into just each individual trains. I know that if I had like the legacy control, it'll make each engine run at the same speed. I just don't have that yet. The channel has not grown that far. So I'm going to get this thing going and see if we can make a lap or two with it. See how it does. I've done it before, but right now we have the most cars I've ever had on it. I did have to take off like 3 of the cars that I have because they're so worn out. They just can't do it. Whew. So let's see what we've got in the consist. The train is the SD90 Mac, which these are owned by Norfolk Southern now. To my understanding, they bought a bunch of these, which they turned them into the ACEs, the SD70, or yeah, are they SD70 ACEs? Something like that. And then we have a Tier 4 right there, a GE Tier 4. And as you see, we have a monstrous consist. So I'm gonna try to get these things moving, and then we'll try to catch it coming out right here, and then we'll see how it goes around the line. I am having problems at this switch up here. It's damaged. So I really actually need to replace that switch and some track, but I've got to clear that switch in order to replace it. It's been a nightmare today. I've kind of neglected this railroad for the past 6 months. It's our outdoor garden railway, and the damage that's done to it is actually stuff that I did to it. I hit the switch with a weed eater and tore it all to heck. I'm surprised that the trains are actually able to move over it. So unfortunately, I've got to replace a couple of pieces of straight track and it because I welded the track together. That's a story for another day. So let's see what we got. Right, so actually, right now, it's running. But for how long, I don't know. Running the DPUs really will tell on you where your bad spots are on your track, and it will tell you what cars you have are bad orders. Bad cars. I had to take this one aside and this one. And it's not that they're necessarily bad. It's just that the trucks are worn out. I'm gonna have to machine some bushings. And like that one, so that one's tight. That one's even worse. So I'm gonna have to machine some bushings. But I'm not really too worried about it because I'm not gonna run intermodal. So I'm not gonna run massive DPU engine or consists until I actually buy like brand new cars. Some of these cars are pushing 30 to 40 years old. I've got them all off of Facebook Marketplace, used lots off of eBay. I mean, these cars, especially these chassis engine cars, they are worn slap out. I mean, half of them are leaning. They all need to really be retired, rebuilt. They're in bad shape. So right now the lead engine is approaching the hill. It's 5% grade and it's really struggling. I should put another engine in tow. Uh-oh. We had something happen. Let me go check out what happened. Never mind, we're good. For some reason it lost connection. This track over here is about I checked it with a heat gun. It's right at like 130 degrees. It's really hot, so it's been having some issues. Right here, we do have a car derailed. I've had troubles with this car all day. I'm actually gonna take it out and we'll catch it up with this one. So this is how I've been checking what's good and what's bad. I've had troubles with this car in the past, and it just has problems. So it looks like everything's coming over the hill. The reason why they lost power there was because that one touched the third rail, shorted everything out there for a brief second. So that's why we had that issue. These are just things you're going to have to look out for if you plan on running a massive train. Then right here, this switch is broken. So I'm actually just gonna put a curve right here and do away with this Y. I've got it running at a slow speed. Oh, there we go. Damn. All right, so our massive derailment last happened because of a failed Y. Now, or a failed turnout. I've been planning on deleting this line anyways right here, this little crossover piece. I'm actually going to put in a passing siding on this side. So, you know what? It worked out great. I'm going to put a piece of straight track right there and eliminate that turnout. You know, I post these videos about this when everything's running perfect and smooth. And this line will run 100% perfect and smooth if I don't run in DPU. When this line is perfect and everything is connected perfect, it'll run a DPU, and it'll run a DPU perfect. But running DPUs really shows you where all your issues are, and that's why I do it. I did it about 6 months ago, and I got all the little gremlins out because it shows you where all the little dead spots in the line are. It shows you where everything is, because if this engine still has power and this one loses it, well, guess what? You're pulling the train apart. So really, running DPUs, it looks cool, but it also helps me get everything back perfect. I'm gonna fire this bad boy up and run it now. I'll never run DPUs again unless it's just for a video. This is just to show you guys, you know, that it is a pain in the butt to do this. It's easy on an indoor layout where you have perfect variables, but you remember, I'm doing this outside, and you know, we have weather and corrosion, but luckily I don't have hardly any corrosion issues due to using NOAX. I don't have a tripod with me, or I would use it to hold the phone while I fired everything up, but it should run perfect now. All right, so fingers crossed. I think I have fixed all of our gremlins, but we won't know until we make one complete loop. Like I said, I'm not gonna do this all the time. And whenever I just run single unit trains, we have no issues. But I want everything to be perfect. I used to have a lot of problems with this Y until I replaced it. It actually had like one of the frogs was broken. And you know, you gotta remember, I'm using a legacy engine with a Lion Chief engine, and I'm just using the little controllers that they come with. And I'm using a mix of freight from, God, probably 50 years old to present day stuff. So right here we're in the incline. So this is where the train gets under a load. It's 5% through here. Actually a little bit more than 5% scaled. I measured it out. It's about 6.5% to about this point here where I put this little red engine right here. Real steep. It was a lot smoother and it didn't have such a steep incline, but the ground kind of settled over time and everything kind of sank. I really need to re-level the entire railroad now that it has been outside for over a year. Right now we're just running it like it was, you know, exactly how I set it up originally. It looks like if it'll make this curve, which is the steepest, hardest curve, we're running 048 track. I want to upgrade everything to 072. I just got to get the YouTube subscribers up where the channel generates enough revenue, honestly, to pay for it. Now this car right here has issues. It derails. For some reason, it's got problems. The only reason I run it is to carry my remote. That's the only reason. After this video, it's coming off the line and it's going to be rebuilt. I've already sidelined a few cars. I'm not sure what's wrong with that car, but it just has issues. Unless I really weight it down, it won't stay on the track. But it looks like we're going to make a full loop on the main as a DPU train. Now once I cut all this up and actually just run normal engines, you know, normal consists without DPU, we'll be fine. And this thing will probably run great if I just eliminate some of the cars that are giving me fits like this one. I could probably put a rock in it, honestly. Let me go hunt a rock and put it in there just to give it some added weight, and it will not come off the track anymore. Okay, I put a little piece of granite in there. Funny thing, I had one of my intermodal cars wasn't sitting completely flat in the in its little whale, and it hit this track and pulled it way up. Had everything all messed up. So right now it's doing like it should. All of our problems was coming from this failed Y, and that's what was derailing cars. So put a straight piece here. I'll take this Y out because there's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to rebuild a lot of these Ys. As you see, I hit them with a weed eater, so I mess up the little switches and all that. That's my fault. That's not Lionel's. That's just a part of having an outdoor railway. You're going to get carried away sometimes. I don't pay attention when I'm weed eating, and I mess my stuff up. Luckily, this one here is still good, because this is the most critical one. Damn it. Damn COVID. Let's see, it's taking this curve really well. This one here took weeks to get right. Absolute weeks. I feel like once I put like a 072 curve in this, it'll be much better. once I do that with everything, it'll be much better. But guys, we are running DPUs. Look at there, or a DPU. Wow. So the consist, see she's slowing down now as she gets on the steep grade, starts to make the climb. So when I get on my intermodal cars, the Union Pacific will probably run a consist of just intermodals and like the hot shot freight, like the Tropicana cars, stuff like that, the piggybacks. I'm gonna divide everything up and we'll have 3 trains and an Amtrak. So let's watch it do one more lap. Looks like it's finally gonna make it. Whew. Normally when I make these videos, I edit everything to make it look like it's just gravy every time. Guys, it's not. It was at one time until I neglected this thing. Once I started neglecting it is when the problems arose. Now, I don't have rust issues. I don't. My biggest issues is ballast, which is with any railroad. You know, you neglect any mainline railroad and you don't keep up with your ballast and your leveling, you're going to have problems. And that's what my main issues are, is the track is just not level. Now the turnouts, yeah, that's my problem. I hit them with a weed eater, I tear them up, mess the frogs up. That's me. Look at there. Nice. Well, she's running great now. I thought about stepping the speed up just a little bit, but I don't want to chance it. I'm gonna run it at reduced speed for now. Well, now that we actually fixed that issue, it's been 30 minutes now. The train has made about 15 laps around the yard, or around the line, and it runs perfectly fine. Now, I'm not going to do this all the time. I just wanted to do it really for this video. Without Lionel, like I guess it's the legacy system. I'm not sure what it's called. Like the base system, where it connects every engine and makes them all run at the same time and everything. It's just really hard to do. And without having all of your variables covered. Right now, this is great. This has taken me 5 hours to get everything in the perfect condition to run this setup, which is not what you want. I just want a setup I can, you know, get outside, cut on and run, and leave it alone and let it run all day. So that's why I don't do DPUs anymore. When the track was brand new and I was doing this every single day. Right here, look right here. I took the controller off of this car that was giving it enough weight to hold down. It jumped the track because it don't have any weight on it. Good thing we caught that, because I didn't want to deal with that derailment. You know, modern railway or modern railroads, they have like Wabtec systems, which that's the company who let's say that designs all the software and all that stuff now for these remote units and all that. So, you know, they have computers in them that speeds up or slows down the engines that makes them run perfect in a DPU setting. But doing it like this, there is no way to speed up that locomotive, not without having the controller in your hand or multiple people that can bump the speed up, slow it down, bump it. That would be just crazy hard. Unless you, I mean, I could probably design something. I don't know. My dad and brother are engineers, and they could probably figure something out. But I'm not doing it. But realistically, you would need a way to like speed up and slow down either the head engine or the mid engine, you know, in order to get all of your, you know, to keep all of your power balanced. But yeah, guys, that is just a day in the life of trying to run DPUs on a garden railway. I'm fixing to get this thing on a straightaway start chopping cars, and really getting all my consists built how I want for the, the setups. So thank you guys for watching. This has been a aggravating video. I had to go break out a Voodoo Ranger because this has been so aggravating. But our line runs great now. It does. And I just want to say something just for reference. So the reason I put a flat car right here, the other day on the NS line, on the Greenville line, there was 28, or sorry, I think it was 48R. I think that's the train it was, 48R. I could be wrong, but it was a big intermodal train that had a DPU, and it had like 5 flat cars in front, 5 flat cars in back, and then the rest were intermodals and intermodals. And I was like, well, damn, that seems like, you have no weight in the front or the back, and then you've got all the weight back there and all the weight in the front. How are they balancing that out with no weight? I don't know how they do it, but it's because of computers. The computers is what tells that engine to speed up or slow down. I don't know. But